We good to go, ma'am.
We good to go. And good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back for another episode of The Encouraging Woman She Speaks podcast, season 2, episode 7. We back. I'm your host, Ashley D, followed by my co-host, Dr. Storm.
Doctor. Listen, y'all, Ashley got us in the pajamas today.
Absolutely. Listen, biggest thing I was thinking about as we were getting ready for the podcast, I was like, it's the holiday season. Why we need to dress down?
She got on a onesie, y'all. She's
Indeed.
real comfortable. So am I.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm in the Christmas spirit.
Yes. We have to
this
get
way in the Christmas.
we have to get in the Christmas spirit. I am so excited for this holiday season. I don't know. You know, honestly, I have the holiday blues. Y'all ever heard of the holiday blues?
I heard of the song, but what is the holiday?
Man, the holiday blues when you just start feeling things like
But what you feeling?
a little heavy.
I don't want to tell you. Like,
Oh my gosh. Oh, that that brought me to think about something one of the kids said to me yesterday. I can't say it though. I'll tell you.
you see how big my eyes got? You know that's a little confidential because y'all, you never know what these children are gonna tell you. But it's gonna be the truth. It's gonna be the truth.
Yeah, I was like, man, I was getting ready. I was like, oh my God, Lord, it's our last episode for this year, 2024. Man, as I reflect on this year, I'm like, God's been so good.
Yeah, he really has.
He's been so good, and that's what's keeping me going. And just like, okay, Dr. Stone, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. Because listen,
I just want to go on record, y'all, and say I am the oldest.
she is. It's all right. Her birthday next month.
Yes, it is. I'll be 21.
No, you be 51. I gotta get you back.
Ashley D, what you doing this week?
Oh, she in my business, y'all. I'm going to see Ursha, baby.
I just want to get your attention.
Hey.
We both going, and I'm ready.
Yes,
I'm ready to go see my man.
I'm still as my man. I have the shirt ready.
We'll do a Monica and Brandy here. The boy is mine.
I am so excited. It's tomorrow. I'm going tomorrow. I'm like so excited. I'm like sitting here like, man, it's gonna be good. My outfit came and it just ain't giving right now, but it's all good.
We're gonna make it do
We're gonna make it do what it do. It's all good.
Yeah.
But I will say I wanted to really be more comfortable for this episode. I was just thinking like, it's the holidays. Let's just get into the Christmas spirit. I'm like, you have to really like make yourself feel better, even though you don't feel well on the inside. On the outside, you gotta just portray like everything's well.
All is well.
All is well. Because the more you talk about it, the more it's gonna get better. So we're gonna talk about it today, y'all.
Yeah, I think that around this time it's so much going on with, people dealing with grief, losses, and just a lot. I could definitely say it's a lot. And it's one of those things where we just gotta keep, being strong as a community, talking about it, and just loving on one another.
And the key one that popped in my spirit, grace.
Yeah. You know what? You check on the people that you haven't spoken to.
Yeah.
And if they haven't checked in, call them and say, hey, I was just thinking about you.
Yeah.
It's all well. Do you need anything? And sometimes that makes a bit different because I believe that a lot of people, we all are suffering in silence because we all have our own trials and tribulations and grief that we're dealing with. Because, baby, I can't wait till Friday.
Listen.
I am locking Red Learning Academy up, and I won't be back until January 7th. I promise you.
I cannot wait. I'm going to miss my kids those 2 weeks. They're going to be off, but I know that they're going to have a great break. And I realize now, being in the schools, why teachers need those breaks. They need to recharge and refuel because being a teacher and everything, being at the school, period, can take all your energy away. And it's just one of those things like, okay, we need a breather too. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. I'm very thankful for our audience, our supporters for being on with us tonight. I believe you guys will enjoy this.
Wait, can we talk about the article?
Oh yeah.
Really quick?
So I want to actually say I have had so many people to share that article. Okay. So guys, I am actually I got a promotion. It's a little something within the police world. And it's such a blessing. It's great to see that people are paying attention. But I want to pay more attention to encouraging women than what I'm doing in the community in that aspect. Mm-hmm. I love both. I love being able to balance. But I want you guys to understand The reason why I was so emotional on that interview was because my student in particular, I was supposed to go see him. He's actually a Marine now, and I was actually supposed to see him, but my schedule had conflict. And he caught me by surprise. Y'all don't understand. It was a lot happening in South Carolina that particular weekend. They had actual monkeys being released in the city, y'all. Google it. I kid you not. That was happening. It was like, God was like, no, you ain't supposed to be there. But he popped up on me and surprised me. And it's just one of those things, as a mentor, you try your best to continue to pour into your students as much as you can. And to actually see the fruits of your labor along with everyone that's part of that village, it's just like, wow. Like, he made it through. That process is tedious. If y'all know anybody in the military, please tell them thank you. Thank you in so many ways. There's so much that they have to endure. So that was why I was so emotional. I'm not a super water bag, Rodney. I saw your comment, okay? But all is well. I'm so excited just for the journey for me ahead of me. And I'm thankful for every mentor that I have. Rather if it's the financial, the book publishing, all of those things, I'm so thankful for everybody.
You're dropping a lot of gems right now, but I don't know if people call it. So I'm going to just stay over here in my lane, because I don't know if I can talk about it, y'all. So I'm going to just stay right here.
It's coming, y'all. It's coming. But we ain't going to talk about it.
Rewind and catch what she just said. But I'm going to stay right here, because we got a powerful guest that we have coming up.
We got my girl, y'all. So we have a special guest today, and I say special in just an enduring way, an endurement. Shalyn White, y'all. I have known Shalyn since, I think we had to be like sandbox days. Just like, I don't know what it was between last time, our last guest, and this guest as well. I think sometimes guys always you got to go back to your past, bring them into the present, help to continue to push and thrive and further drop gems themselves. So with Shalyn, I love everything about her. She's endured so much. She has had such an interesting journey that I'm just like, wow. I'm going to tell y'all a little bit more of one. I bet she don't remember the last time we ran into, not the last time, but the time we ran into each other randomly at a school. We're going to figure if she remember that. But none other, Shalyn White is actually an author, a mom, an entrepreneur, just all around multifaceted woman that I truly admire so very much. So we're no further ado, guys. We're going to move on and bring on my good girl, Shalyn White.
Come on, Shay.
Come on, Shay.
Hey,
Come on, Shay.
Oh my gosh.
I like them earrings.
She's like,
thanks, girl.
Shay understood the assignment, y'all. She got on her Christmas sweater too.
Yes. Okay, I'm ready.
Shay, you only had one job.
And the job is secured. Hello.
I'm so proud of you, girl. It's so good to see you, man.
You too. Thank you, ladies. Dr. Storm, it's so nice to finally meet you. Thank you, ladies, for having me. I truly appreciate it. I'm humble. I heard everything you said, so I am very humbled. First off, y'all, Storm was congratulating and stuff, and we clapping, and I didn't get a chance. So I want to clap it up for Ashley. Yes.
Thank y'all.
My
Just trying to be great, man. That's it.
Hold it down, Fort Lauderdale. I'm very proud of you. That is
I got to, man. As much as I want to leave the city, it's like guys nope, it ain't time yet. You see all your classmates, everybody moved away, and you're like, I'm ready to go too. And he's like, no,
I ain't something for you right here. Yeah.
The Bible say peace be still.
Come on now.
Hello. Don't start preaching up in here.
I'm not.
I love it. Hey, Ash. I see you, Ash. Shalyn, oh my gosh, it's so good to actually see you.
You too.
I love the fact that when I see my classmates and I see they're in good health.
Yeah.
And they are beautiful, just doing well.
Looking good.
Right back at you, girl. Hello. We still look like we at Browder State.
No, seriously. Y'all know about BEE.
Yes. Beautiful.
Right? That is so funny. Shalyn, oh my gosh, you're such a breath of fresh air. I kid you not.
Thank you.
I am so excited to see, or for you to just tell us just about your journey. You have two beautiful kids.
Oh, thank you.
They're doing well. Is it one graduating?
Girl, slow your roll. okay, don't make me cry. No, she's a 10th grader. Soraya is my daughter. She's a 10th grader, 15 this year.
Wow.
Pretty much, but she's doing really good. And then my son Prince, he is 6th grade this year, just turned 12. So yes, girl, I have grown children. Not as grown as Ash, but
What you say they up
they
there?
right now.
Y'all champ 17, man.
Come on, let's do it.
We almost there. Woo. We almost
So
there.
ready. Yes, but
Shay,
girl, yes. Mm-hmm.
I want you to tell us, who is Shalyn White?
If I pause in between questions, I'm really
okay.
It's okay.
But I would say first and foremost, child of God.
Yeah.
Full on seeker of God. Like that's what I've grown to be. I am a mother to my 2. I am a daughter, sister, aunt, all of the things. But outside of those things, I'm also, by the grace of God, I'm an author. I'm a licensed master barber.
Yes.
I'm also a full-blown entrepreneur, small business owner, writer of all sorts, pretty much everything. I dibble and dab. I invest. I do a little bit of everything.
Listen. I just like how humble you just said. It was like, yes,
I do this.
I'm an
I do
author.
that.
Just a little bit.
I'm a this, I'm a that. I love it. I love the humbleness and the resilience of just everything that you said.
Yeah.
But what I love most of all is that you are able to identify that you are great.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while. It took a while. A lot of people other people would recognize stuff within me. And I struggled with that for a long time. I didn't see myself the way other people saw me.
Right.
But along my journey, in my walk with Christ, that's when I really started to see myself the way that he sees me. I'm still learning. I haven't fully mastered it, but I definitely see myself in a totally different light than I did maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, so yeah.
Yes.
So that means you're growing.
We definitely are growing. Like,
yes.
I believe that it's like one of those things when you finally start walking into your purpose, God just truly reveals everything that you didn't see. Everybody else sees it, and he starts revealing everything to you. I would hear it all the time. I'm like, I don't see that. And I'm like, I even felt growing up, I couldn't do things without a friend being by my side.
Yes.
And being that I independently went into my career by myself, and I'm thriving and I'm doing it by myself without having someone with me. I'm like, ooh, look at God.
Yeah, I was the same way. I was really big on that. My mom always makes that joke. She's like, when you were a little girl, it was like, come play with me. Come do this with me. And now I'm like, child, I'm going to the movies. I'm going out to eat. I'm going by myself. Like, whatever. Don't care. I'll walk into a room. I'm just...
I believe that you have to have those moments by yourself because the Bible talks about it all the time, that having that relationship where he can speak to you, speak to your heart, and just being able to listen to the things that he wants you to do.
Yeah.
And I believe that when you're in the middle of greatness, you're building, you're so focused on the end goal, right?
Yeah.
And you're not celebrating yourself along the journey. And that's why sometimes it's really hard to see what everybody else sees.
Yeah.
But when you figure it out and you go through the testimonies and you had to be in that valley by yourself and you like, that ain't nobody but God.
Come on now. Come on.
I surrender. I may go back, but you're going to be there to come get me.
Oh
yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. And that was such a hard thing for me. That whole space, like the surrender, understanding what that was. And then knowing that he will actually come get me.
Yes, he will.
Yes, he will.
And that's the biggest thing is like, now I'm such a advocate for that. Like when people ask me just about when they're trying to start, they're considering, following Christ or, where to start. How do I start praying? I'm like, listen, let me tell you something. He will come to you. He will accept you. I promise you.
Yeah.
Any place you are, I don't care if you're standing in the club. I don't care if you're smoking. I don't care what you're doing, where you at. He will come get you.
Yes.
He will come get you. And I really had to learn that for myself. Just, of course, going through all of my trials and stuff, because I always had like a relationship with God. I grew up with, my parents. They weren't necessarily in the church to begin with.
Right.
But it started with my dad, and he started seeking, God and everything, and going on his journey. That he kind of brought us into it. And everybody was like falling in suit. My mom, my sister. I'm like, nope. Over here to the left, I'm going to hang out. I'm doing my own thing. They doing security and becoming the usher and all the things in the church. And I'm like, I'm going over here. I got to go smoke real quick. I'll catch y'all on no. I'll see y'all at the church for Sunday dinner though.
Yeah.
Girl, I ran until he came and was like, excuse me.
What you doing? Tap you on the shoulder. What you doing?
I need to talk to you for a second. I was like, okay. So it took that, but that is so true, Dr. Storm, that he will literally come get you, wherever you are.
Oh yes, honey, and it be unapologetically. Let me say, Shalyn, some days I be like, all right, guys, so we went through this year. Can I have a break? I have to tell him, I have a break. Everybody started ready to jump into 2025. I had to go down the list. Well, wait a minute, because I remember 2023 was like this.
Listen,
2024 wasn't no better. I don't get it wrong. God came through with some things, and I was just so grateful.
Come on.
But I believe that the higher you climb, the more that, how one of my mentors said, the higher you climb, the more your behind is shown, right?
Yeah.
So you leave yourself open for your enemies, right?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I believe that as you continue on this path of greatness,
yes,
all these titles that we wear, it's important to keep your face to the ground.
Come on now.
Ooh.
You have to.
Why you didn't tell me she for the drop?
She drop gems all the time.
Yes, ma'am. That is such a true statement right there. Seriously. I had to learn though, no matter what you're doing, give yourself. I heard y'all speaking about grace before y'all brought me on, which is such a true statement. And we always talk about giving other people grace, but I feel like you can't give other people grace. You're not going to learn how to properly give somebody grace until you give yourself grace.
Yes.
And I had to learn how to humble myself and say, it's okay to be tired. It's okay that you need a break, because God knew exactly who you were when he created you. He knew exactly who you were when he gave you the mandate, or when he gave you the mission, whatever the purpose. He knew exactly who you were. He factored in, Ashley, that you are a mom. He factored in whether you're a police officer. Same thing for you, Dr. Slum. He factored in that you're a wife, that you're a mom, and all the things that you do.
Yeah.
But we like to run around like we're superhuman. I only wanted to say super women because it's men too. We like to run around like we're superhuman. And it's like, just as much as we are flesh, we are spirit at the same time.
Yes.
And our flesh gets tired. And we all know on the fleshly side of things, if we don't listen when our body say, hey, sit down and drink some water, take you a nap, your body will forcefully sit you. So you can pick whichever one you want to do. But I had to learn that. And I had to also learn to be okay with saying, God, I need a break.
Yeah.
And be okay with it, because I know he's okay with all the layers of me. God, I'm tired. I'm not doing that right now.
Right.
And it's not out of stubbornness. It's out of, I'm genuinely tired. It's only so much I can do in my power. You got to step in and do what you do when you ready to do it. So in the meanwhile, I'm going to be over here.
They say when it's your will, it's hard. But when it's his will, the yoke is easy.
It's so easy. And I was just having this conversation with somebody literally last week. I said, I'm at the most peaceful, by the grace of God, I'm at the most peaceful place of my life that I have ever been in my 36 years of living. Honestly.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
honestly. And it's no, I don't have everything I want. I'm not doing all the things that I want. You know, I'm not fully in my purpose and all of these things, but the peace of mind.
Come on now.
Oh my God. When I tell you, like, stuff comes and it flows to me easy and from me easy.
Right.
And it's all a matter of who you choose to surround yourself with.
That's huge.
To entertain.
Yes.
You know, the stuff, whether it's purpose or whether it's just something that you real good at. You know what I mean? Because you could be really good at something. You can make a lot of money from it. You could be a blessing to a lot of people, but that thing can drain you so bad mentally that it's worth it.
You better say it.
I had to learn for real, like, how to slow down. And me and Ashley were talking about this last night, like, just about that space of slowing down. And last night I said, for these past 2 years, let me say it like this. For the past 2 years, this is the most to myself I have been.
Listen.
That's good.
And then I'm like, Shalyn, you still here? Where you at?
And then this year has been the least I've ever been on social media.
Yes.
Like, I'll pop in and I'm checking other stuff, like creative things I'm checking.
Yes.
But as far as like my activeness, posting, I'll post something like just to kind of make sure I don't get lost in the sauce type of thing. But just to say, like, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
But I've lost all of that drive to post because it's so draining.
Oh my God.
You know, and chasing purpose even is so draining. People think like walking with God or pursuing your purpose is easy. No, the easiest part of that journey is accepting it and saying, okay, I'll do it.
Okay,
God said pick up your cross. Yes. And when you pick up your cross, oh my gosh, that weight of that thing is crazy.
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's so heavy.
People will look at your life and see
all
the things that in their mind, the accolades, the blessings, the whatever, the things, not even knowing.
Have no idea.
Even know the hell.
The haves and the have-nots.
What?
Come on. Listen.
And it's more have-nots than the have.
Come on now. Listen, every time I think about our journey and how we prepare for these podcasts and how we reach out to the guests, it's like you have to make sure communicating with the guests that you want to have, all these things, and creating flyers and making sure the posts are ready, making sure they go out in time. What music you gonna use? What you want to wear today? There are so many things that goes behind being an entrepreneur, trying to push forward in your ministry and just walking with God in every way. It's not easy, y'all. I know y'all probably look at things like, oh, it's so easy. No. Even today, when y'all saw that video, that article of me, you guys have no idea the half of the journey that we go through with kids, with everything. And in spite of the fact that we're entrepreneurs, we're balancing every other aspect. You part of our organization. Okay, you have this title, that title. Okay, you have your business, your actual career. When I say I'm
your
tired, your personal life, trying to hang out with your sisters.
It's real.
Listen,
that thing is real.
It's listen, I don't have time for no man right now. I'm sorry.
I ain't gonna say that, girl.
I don't have time.
I got time for my man. Whatever.
My man.
Y'all find one.
No, my husband.
I ain't got one yet. But when he comes,
not my man. My husband. Come on.
I don't have the capacity right now. But next year, 2025, I'm so looking forward to having that space and everything. But right now, I feel like I have
that's
a lot.
What, in a couple more weeks?
It really is. That's why I'm not stressing it, y'all. Relax.
January 1st, you're like, I'm ready.
I'm gonna be ready, okay?
So I just believe that, and I tell Ashley D this all the time. I'm like, listen, the most important thing in life is to find balance. We talk about peace. Peace is great.
Yep.
But you can't stay in peace always, because the greatest accomplishments, you're gonna go through a level of hell. And
trial and tribulation is gonna come.
So you're gonna have to find balance when you're carrying so many different crosses.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just believe that when you find your purpose, some things become easy. A lot of people look at me and like, oh, you run a whole school. And I'm like, yeah, that's the easy part. The easy part is running the school. I love the children. The tough part is making sure that I am balanced, because in order for me to be Dr. McCullough that they need me to be, my cup has to be full so it can overflow and be purposely for them.
Absolutely.
And it's one of those things where the Bible said, write it down and make it plain. Listen,
come on, Habakkuk.
I am a true writer. And when it comes to like the beautiful things, when I read your title, breathe through it all, I'm like, sometimes we forget to breathe.
Listen.
Girl, yes. Listen, that was literally what God had to do. And breathe is not just the physical act of taking the breath. How he translated it to me, it was literally like that, taking a seat, a moment to process. It's that in between space, and that's basically what the book is about. It's like, being okay with in between, being okay with what's going on behind the scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
What's going on behind the scenes, being okay with what it takes for you to be Dr. Storm, because like you said, they see who you are when they show up to the school, but they don't see what Dr. Storm probably got to do when she go home that's still school related.
7 days a week.
Cut it off. Kind of like last night, I respect the fact when you was like, hey, I gotta go. Like, I
only got 15 minutes.
That's that balance. Yeah, but that's that balance. Seriously. And it's so funny because that's the... Say it again, I didn't hear you.
Yeah. No, I say you find that balance. It's like you pull yourself at different angles.
Yeah.
If I could sprinkle a little bit over here, sprinkle a little bit over there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But I am coming, as I get, you little young tenderoni, because you ain't gonna ever hit me. I'm sorry. That's just not what I'm gonna say. I realize more when my mom tells me to slow down. I understand when she says that, and I understand when she says, you're getting older, so certain things don't operate like it used to be. We went to our holiday party on Saturday, and I think I dropped it like it's hot, and my knees still hurting. Listen. I'm honest, my knees still hurt.
Mine too. I don't know if I need some big A, some sports cream, something.
But life teaches you how to appreciate certain moments. And I tell Ashley all the time, when she's talking about her self-care days, and I'm like, okay, book it. I'll go. And she's like, but I gotta
no. She's
book it
and
go.
She said, if you don't book it, and you better work an extra detail.
Yeah. Me and my mom,
you don't want to get to the end of your life and realize that you did not do half of what God has called you to do.
Yeah.
Ooh. And girl, I always say, I know that I am running God absolutely insane. But I said in a playful way because everybody's like, oh, we drive God crazy. But I'm like, in reality, we're not driving God crazy. That's what he wants us to do. He wants you to call on him for every single thing. Consider him in every single thing. God, should I go eat this? Should I go?
Yeah.
When I tell y'all, I consider him in everything. I knew Ashley, like third grade, and when she asked me, I was like, and then I still was like, God, because if you say no, I'm gonna just tell Ashley, not yet, And I mean, I'm literally considering him in every it's funny because you were saying about that whole making sure you have a moment for yourself. My mom and my sisters, we have like this little joke where my mom is like, 1, 2, 3, go. Just say 1, 2, 3, go. Because it's like sometimes I'm gonna just say as women, we 1, 2, 3, go. Because you are being that superwoman at this point, as far as whether you wife, mom, all the hats that you wear. And I was just having this conversation with my mom a couple hours ago, and I'm like, I kind of feel a little certain way about Christmas and this and that. And my mom was like, at what point are you going to do something for you? You always doing this for the kids. And so she was like, the kids got everything. And it's not like you didn't even get anything. She was like, so you're not going to get yourself anything? And I was like, yeah, Mom, I bought these cute little Coke shoes and da-da-da. And I put it in my cart. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go get this for the kids.
Why do women feel guilty?
We feel guilty for doing stuff for ourselves.
I'm glad to know it's not just me because I've been going through it. I be going through it. But I don't know. But I am genuinely getting a lot better with that. I'm learning to be selfish with me.
Yes.
And I'm really seeing that I give such a better version of me when I take care of me.
That's right.
And I honor me. And I always say, I honor me. I honor me. I don't care if it's something that I want to eat that may be unhealthy. I don't care. I'm honoring me. If I want to go get my nails done, if I want to go take 2 days off from work just because, I'm honoring me. My body said we sleeping in. If we say we going to whatever, I'm doing it. Like, I'm honoring me. Because if I don't honor me, who is?
Yes.
Who is? And I can't, and that's something like my mom, I like to speak to obviously like a lot of married women and just kind of hearing, I can see the positive things and I hear a lot of the positive things, but I like for them to tell me like the negative things. Like,
it's out in the gutter.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then my mom was like,
let me get the details.
Yeah. But I want to hear it, and not for like the badass, but I'm saying just from her being a woman,
right?
Not the messiness of the marriage, right. Just her, because my mom is always like, Shay, I lose sight of myself, and she's now starting to get back into herself, and we have this conversation all the time, and she's like, when I see you taking care of you, it makes me say, you know what, I'm gonna go to Bath and Body Works, I'm gonna go do this, I'm going to get my hair done, I don't care,
come on, mama,
do this.
That's right.
I hear her, I laugh, but she's like, no, you don't understand how easy it is to get so lost in that, whether with motherhood or marriage or all your hats. So I am learning it, and that's what Breathe is about. It's about that in-between space. That's being okay. I call it the gray space of life, because when you know where you're headed, or when you gotta, I don't even want to just say when you know where you're headed, wherever your destination may be, it may be that job, it may be purpose, it may be your focus is the relationship, whatever your focus is, that is still an in-between space. That little funky, hazy space where we all kind of like start tripping. Like, all right, God, I just lost a job. Now what? All right, God, Christmas coming up. Now what? I ain't got no money. Right. FPL just pulled out my account. What? Now what? Yeah. And that's that's that Breathe space. That's what it is to me. It's like, hey, that's where you take that second and just chill, like, and know that most things are out of your control. Yeah. There's only so much that you can do. And I always say, hey, I go back to Donnie McClurkin, when you done all you can do, come on now.
Listening to that on the way in. Only thing you can do is just stand.
It's just stand. And that's it. And I'm quick to be like, God, look, I don't pay my tithes. I don't pay the bills that I can pay.
That's it. I'm standing now, God.
You know what? One of my things that I said I was going to incorporate while I'm on the Christmas break, on my break, I am going to do a yearly accomplishment board. This is what it means. God got me through this. Yes. Ooh, and it's like a reminder. So when I start tripping on God and telling him that he's doing some funny business, because sometimes he be doing some funny stuff. Yeah. I just can't come in agreement with. It reminds me of how he got me out of a situation, or how he gave me grace and mercy. Yeah. So I learned how to say, you know what, God, I can't even complain. Yes. You did it for me last time. You definitely gonna do it for me this time. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm about to stay up for it.
You know what I did today? I actually have a journal that I wrote June 1st, 2024. And I actually wrote 300 goals.
Yes, you did.
Y'all, it took me like a week to write these goals. And I looked at that thing, I literally started crying, because I'm like, God, you did that. Mm-hmm. You did that. Yeah. I'm like, wow. And I got that concept from Steve Harvey. He said, take your time and write down 300 goals. Mm-hmm. And you need to look at it by the end of the year to see what you've actually accomplished, to make sure that you were focused on the task at hand. Yeah. And when I say my mouth just dropped and I just started crying, I was sitting in my office, I was like, I'm talking about detective was on there. I'm like, wow, new car. I said, won't he do it?
Yeah. Hello. So that means that after he's telling us, y'all, that our 2025 new year, new day goal is to do what? Write
the vision, man. You got 300 goals. You got to write I want everybody that's on here. 300? I want to challenge y'all to write 300 goals for yourself for 2025. And by the end of 2020, December 31st, 2025, I want you to look at that list and see what you've accomplished. I am so big on that. Even with my son, I tell him, like, Ashton, what are your goals? What do you want to, if you don't have a vision for yourself, how do you think God's going to give it to you? Like, you don't know what you want to do for yourself.
Right.
How?
Yeah.
How?
Okay. Absolutely.
So I got my homework. That's right.
300 goals.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard. And it could be the simplest things. God, I want to start tithing more. I want to start doing more offering. I want to increase in that. And those things matter. It's not always about the physical things, like, you know, just goals of buying a house. No, it's those smaller things that we don't realize that we still got to work on that lead up to the bigger goal.
Yes.
You know, how you going to say you want to fix your credit and you're not doing anything to fix it?
Ooh, right.
That was me. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That was me a long time. And when I say I'm so proud of myself,
you got it.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I know that's right. For real.
So serious, y'all. Like, I'm transparent with my audience.
Hey, I hear you, because trust me, I'm telling people that too, as far as writing the vision and making it plain. I'm a big advocate for that. I know a lot of people like to do vision boards and this and that, but you have to also remember, because I always think of, I had this girl I knew. She said, I never used to do vision boards. And I did a vision board this one year, and nothing on my vision board came true. And man, when I tell y'all, I died laughing. But I said, listen, okay, the vision board itself is almost like doing a science project.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And you got the science project, and the teacher told you to do all this research and add pictures and all this stuff. And you got this big old display board. You got all these cool, nice pictures, colorful and whatever, but you ain't got no information on there. But you didn't go do the research to place some information on the board. And so I said, well, after you made this nice vision board, what did you do? What action fell in between it? Because just because you look at something, and yes, there is power in your tongue. Life and death is in the power of your tongue. So yes, speak it. Yes, write it. Yes, repeat it to yourself. Yes, take a picture of it and set your mind on it. But also get your feet up and do some work behind it.
Come on now.
And I'm saying it because that's from my experience. I mean, when I tell you, I would pray and pray and pray and cry and pray and be like, God, pleading the blood, and girl sweating and like, God, you told me do this, and that. And he's just like, yeah, I did show you this. I did tell you this, but you got to get outside of your house and you got to start doing some legwork. Like, you got to give God something to work with.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because he could bless you with it and you not know what to do with it. You could lose it faster than you got it.
Facts. You know what I also did 1 year? I did a prayer board. The prayer board is in my bedroom. I kid y'all not, I was serious, y'all. I was like, God, I'm tired of struggling.
Yeah.
Do something funny.
Hands on it.
Listen, literally did the prayer board. I wrote everything that I could think of, from relationships to my career to my businesses. I then went into the Bible and wrote scriptures relating to it. And I got my mustard seed.
Thank you.
Every morning I got up and prayed over this thing.
Thank you.
So you put the work in.
Listen, you gotta put the work in. Faith without works is dead, y'all.
Put the work in. That's what that sounds like.
Listen.
You know what I hear God saying is that let's get back to those simple things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the simple things is what catapults us to the big things.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I believe that what you pray for, you got to pray harder to maintain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
That's it.
It's easy to attain blessings, you know. It's easy to attain, but it's hard to retain what you are given, because like they say, to whom much is given, much is
required.
You know what? I had to search that scripture.
Yeah.
And really dig deep. I just actually did that this week. I searched the scripture and I wanted to get a better understanding of that, because it's like, you know, for instance, all of us always say that we believe that we're going to be millionaires, right? And we're going to be the first in our family to do certain things.
Right.
But the one thing that I do believe, every time you get that accolade, it's like, okay, God, you got to have your boxing gloves on.
Yeah.
Because just as much as God is blessing you, God is putting you on a pedestal to say, okay, now you're going to be my testimony.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's not about you.
Yeah.
I was listening to Pastor Darius Daniels
Ooh!
Sunday night. I love him.
We love him.
Yes, girl. I was listening to him Sunday, and he was saying the blessing is for you, but the testimony is for everybody else. Yes. And the blessing to what you've been through is so small. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because everybody's not going to be affected by your blessing.
That's right.
When you get the blessing, there's a designated few that God said, okay, you share this blessing with.
Right.
Everybody doesn't benefit from the blessing. And for a lot of people, your blessing doesn't matter because what you wanted or whatever God blessed you with may not be what somebody else wants or may not be what they need.
Yeah.
But if they could just hear your testimony,
come on,
Shalyn. That's everything. And so that's what I was saying to Ashley. I said, it's so funny because I went through this whole year and I'm like, okay, I made it to the end of 2024. Nobody ain't bothered me. Nobody asked me to do nothing. Low key. Just
that was bold.
It was.
That was bold.
I know when I asked, well, y'all better come through.
And literally, but this was me also. Remember, I said from 2 years ago, I decided like, God, I need a break.
I know.
And I was like, purpose-wise, creatively, like I don't want to write nothing. I just can't. Yeah. Like I can't. And I think it's fair to us as creative people, as spirit-filled people, to give yourself that break because you need it. We are not machines. We can't keep going. Even a machine needs a reboot. Yeah. Even a computer, sometimes we have to go take it down and have tech people to look at it because it start acting up, glitching, and all of these things. And we are no different. You know what I mean? So you have to give yourself that break. And I had to say, okay, God, you know what? I don't even have anything to say. Like, I remember a couple of years ago. So the book has been out for 5 years.
Yeah.
And and I think about like 3 years ago, I want to say, I think it was 3 years ago, it picked up all this traction by the grace of God because Charlamagne the God supported the book.
I saw.
And so once that happened, it was like, kind of like we were just saying, actually, like when I was pushing them 2 years before and I'm trying to get everybody to buy it and I'm out here and they just like, whatever. And this is family, friends, associates, peers, everybody. Like when I wrote the book, nobody ain't congratulating me. Nobody ain't like, oh, I'm so proud of you, this, that, whatever. It was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't even know what it took to do this.
Listen.
Like, literally the tears that went into this, the time that went into it. But once that traction picked up, and that was just literally nothing but God. That was God taking something that the devil meant for evil and turning it for my good. Because it was just a whole stupid thing on Instagram. And God was like, Flip, let me show you something right quick.
Right. Let me show you who I am.
Yes. And when he flipped it, it was just like, then all of a sudden it was all of this like, oh my God, people buying the book. And I'm grateful. It was a blessing. It still is a blessing because it's just taken off from there. Right. But after that time, all of a sudden now there's like a demand. Oh, wait, where's part 2? And I appreciate that because I always tell people when they ask me about being an author, that was never on my list. Right. Never. Like I had no plans of speaking to people. My thing was fashion. It still is fashion.
Listen.
I love hair.
Remember I read it to you, Shalyn, at the America's Top Model?
Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah,
like,
that was at Nova, right?
Model audition.
Oh.
Yes. Dang, you took me back. Yes. I do remember that.
I was so shocked. I think I was working that day at Nova, and I was like, they had the auditions there, and I ran to her. I was like, Shay, you modeling?
Come on.
I'm in the midst of everything, but it's like out of all of those things, and it's like so many things that people don't know about that I don't share, which I know are nothing but his grace and his mercy and his favor that he's allowed to happen. But I'm like, after that, it became this demand. And then I felt like, okay, I got to put out now because there's traction. I got to put out. And then, like you said earlier, Dr. Storm, when you're forcefully trying to do something from your own strength,
it's not gonna be genuine.
That thing, I was like, and I'm sitting here like pen and paper in hand, voice recorder. God, I don't even know what to say. Like it would start flowing, then all of a sudden I would get like a paragraph, and that was it. And God was like, "What do you talk about? Oh, you want to write a book? Go ahead. That's cute. That's go ahead." And so I was just like, you know what, God, no, because when I wrote the book, it wasn't me. It was what y'all read is literally a conversation between God and me.
That's right.
And if I ever played like the voice recording, it sounds even more crazy to hear the voice recording than to read the book. So that's why when people say like, why don't you turn to an audiobook? I'm like, I can read it, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? Because that was a literal conversation.
A conversation, intimate moment.
And that happened for 2 weeks straight. We would talk for 5 to 6 hours while the kids would be at school. And this is when I was just in full-on entrepreneurship. So I would wake up, take my kids to school, and go to the park. And I'm walking around the lake, just praying, talking to God every day for 2 weeks. This is what it was. And I'm just going. Until all of a sudden I had nothing to say. And he was just like, I'm done talking. So, and then I listened back to it and I was just like, oh, okay, well, that's kind of all right. So when when the demand came, I felt the need to do it. But 2 years ago, after just trying to do like putting out the Breathe Experience is a women's brunch that branched off from the book. And that was something that I felt he gave to me about 5-6 years ago. And even then, the first one, it started in my house and then it grew extremely fast.
That's good.
And this is during the pandemic where you ain't supposed to be around strangers in my house. Something that was supposed to be literally 5 women, it turned into 20 women. Then it turned into 25, and it went down to 7, and then it went back up. And I'm like, all right, God, it's a little too many people in my house. So now what? And that's how the Breathe Experience was birthed. But like you said, Ashley, so much is being pulled from you. People don't understand. They don't understand what is going on behind the scenes. And it's like they'll show up to the Breathe Experience. They'll buy the book, but you don't understand the work, the mental that went into it. I remember having the Breathe Experience brunch, the first one at the beach. I tell y'all, no lie, my whole body shut down on me. To the point where I had to like sit down for a second. And my younger sister, she came over and she saw me like hyperventilating, going through it. And she's like fanning me and she was like, breathe. And I'm just like, and she was like, come on, you got to talk. And it was like, I had a whole thing of what I needed to say, but my feet started going, literally turning in. My hands was going in, like my body felt so tight. I'm pouring sweat, full on anxiety.
I was going to say anxiety.
Yes, full on.
I get it really bad. People never know it, but when it's something that's focused on me, it kicks in bad.
Oh yeah, me too. And I've gotten better. It's funny because you had Reggie and Shaquille on 2 weeks ago. And Shaquille had me to do her podcast thing. I want to say about 2 years ago. I was so embarrassed. I was so grateful we sat down. And it was the 4 of us ladies or 5 of us ladies, and we sitting there. And I'm just like, oh my God, my heart is like blue, 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 blue. And everybody else just like this, like
it ain't nothing.
When it was over and I stood up, my jeans. My jeans were soaking wet. Oh my God. Soaking wet because I was like flipping out. Not even knowing that was becoming a real thing though. Like I didn't know that my anxiety got that severe to the point that it got that severe. I had to like literally go through medication because I could not.
It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure. I think for me, when it's showtime, it's like I have to go into another character. It literally is. I remember, one of my mentors, Whitney Houston, she went on with the Lord.
She did.
But
that is my girl.
I remember when Whitney said in one of her movies that they did with her, she said, it's time to become Whitney. And I'm like, man,
yeah.
I do the same thing when it's time to perform. It's like, okay, Storm, it's time to become this person. And what it does is that I am 100% nervous.
Yeah.
And I find a focal point and I'm like, okay, good. And that's the reason why I truly believe, because I believe that everything that, well, a lot of us say we independent, we don't need this, we don't need that. That's a lie.
Yeah.
Because when I have certain people in the room,
yeah,
and they shake their head like that, it's like it's another gift for me.
Listen, it's like it take it to a whole other level.
Yeah.
That's that reassurance. Like, okay, you're on the right track. Go ahead.
And it's so funny that a lot of times I go into what I genuinely believe like an out of body experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just now, like, that's why I keep leaning in, because I'm trying to make sure, like, I may seem very present right now, but I'm not present right now.
You look good. You're doing well.
But thank you.
Amazing.
But I remember Sarah Jake said, if you ever feel like you can walk out and just do it, that ain't the thing for you. Mm-mm. Because you should never feel so qualified. You should never feel, and not that you should feel unworthy. You know what I mean? But if you don't have a second where you feel like, I need somebody to pray for me, I need somebody to encourage me, speak some life to remind me, like, hey, no, you really hurt, you got it. Yeah. If I don't hear that, I am like shutting down, and I'm not getting that from people. I'm getting that from him in prayer. Yeah. He has to reassure me, you're her. I said you're her. I don't care what, because my mama, everybody else y'all can celebrate, tell me I hear you, but I don't hear you. I'm still like, God, that ain't gonna make my heart calm down. I have to go into prayer, just like I heard y'all praying prior to us coming on. Yeah. And still going to my own prayer. I've been praying all day, and I'm just like, God, please. Yeah. Like, I need you to step into me. I need you to do your thing. Right. Speak to whoever you need to speak to, reach whoever you need to reach. Because if it's up to me, I'm gonna be on here stuttering and tripping out.
Would have never known.
Nope.
I'm just and I'm not saying that to be nice. Yeah. Girl, but would have never known.
Oh my gosh.
Would have never known. Especially, you being an author and wearing so many different hats and having so many different testimonies.
Yeah.
I believe that, as you said earlier, sometimes you don't give yourself enough credit.
Yes.
And one of the things that I just love about you is your humbleness.
Yes.
And the way that I can see that you serve God first.
Yes.
And I believe that will catapult you quicker than a person that, quote unquote, who society would say that will have more talents and gifting.
Yep. Hello, the biggest connection. I always say Jesus is the plug. What are you doing?
He is.
What are you talking about? If only, and I don't like sharing the favor because it's unexplainable. That's why I don't like sharing it, because I'm like, God, you haven't gave me the proper language to explain. I can explain it to some people, but other people, they look at me crazy like, what? And I'm like, there's so many things that if I sat on here, we would literally be on here for a few hours. Like you said, 300 things that you wrote down.
Girl, we'll be on here for days and weeks.
Literally. And I ain't even speaking whole life. I'm just speaking these past 2 years of me sitting down.
Yeah.
And I have a part in the book where I say, silence is golden. Yeah. That is like one of my favorite quotes, because
I love that.
It's a real thing. In your silence, in your stillness, you hear everything. Single thing. I have learned to talk less and listen more.
Come on now.
And if you walk into a room and it's with people, it's with everything. You could feel the energy. You could feel the presence. Yes, you could read a room. Yeah. A person can walk past you and you could already know what their thoughts is or what they're coming up to you for, or whether it's authentic or whether it's pure. You can read. When I tell you my discernment is so high. And I tell people this all the time. Like, we was joking about the whole dating thing. That's why I don't date, because it's so hard for me. I can't. I've ran from God for so long and turned all his red flags into green flags and yellow flags because I didn't want to hear what he was saying, to the point now it's just like, you know, we like to pray and say, well, God, if he ain't the one, and then the meme be like, he knocking everything over. I don't even pray that no more. I don't pray that.
Please stop. Don't pray that prayer.
Yeah, I don't pray that. I don't pray that. I'm like, God, leave me alone.
God, send me my Boaz. And
this ain't it.
Yeah, but
don't even pray that.
Yes, it's such a real thing though. But I learned to be still and be silent. And being silent, as I say in the book, it's not about just being quiet, because a lot of people are not okay with silence. You're not okay with sitting in your house. I don't care where it is, the beach, whatever, and literally just sitting there. And that means making your voice that be just going, making that voice shut off. Yeah. And literally just hearing the world. You can, like, it's like going to the beach and you can hear the ocean. I can literally hear the sand. I can hear the trees. I can hear the birds actually flying. I can actually hear. I see it with my eyes, but I can hear it.
That's good. And that's a tool.
That is a tool.
That's a tool that has to be sharpened every day. Yep. Because the world is moving at such a fast pace. And I believe that we as human beings, and I'm not just going to say women, because men has a heavy task as well. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we do not allow ourselves to be in a place of silence because we have so many tangible things and we're being pulled so many different ways. Mm-hmm. But it's two voices that talk to us all the time, because sometimes our voice is the enemy as well. Yep.
So hold on, run it back. I'm not having more time for the people in the back, because that's such a real statement.
That sometimes get closer to the mic. But it's true though, because if you think about it, sometimes you are your worst enemies. You're the person that criticizes you the most. You're the person that do not give you grace, and we like to blame it on the enemy when the enemy is in us. Yeah. Because if God says that everything that we have is bestowed within us, right, we tarnish everything that he gives as a promise. Right. Yeah. Because it's not on time according to our time.
Absolutely. Like they say, the enemy is the inner me. Right. You know, and I also tell people too, something I had to learn, as much as your voice is the enemy, is as much as your voice try to play God. So a lot of times you think that you're hearing something and it's you, because it's your flesh, your heart and your mind is already made up what you want to hear, how you want something to play out. So if you already determined the outcome, it don't matter what nobody else say, because God will be like, what if God is saying no, not that, or no, go right, and you like, but left. Left. Like he is so kind and so gentle that he's like, all right, you want to go, let's go left. Cool, let's go left.
You have to learn.
And then he gonna walk with you going left, and he just gonna be like this, walking in the background.
I told you.
And then when you get over here, God, but wait, no. We want
that's what you wanted.
Let's go left. I'm gonna help you out of here. We're gonna make a U-turn and be back over here in the right. But you want to go left. You were so adamant, and I know I went through that a lot. I was so adamant about my way, so I had to learn the enemy's voice and how it can sound like me, as well as the voice that I was thinking was God. Yeah, that was also me. Yeah, and interpreting it, and that's why a lot of things were not working for me, or were not moving how I thought, because I just felt like, oh well, God, you said do this. God, you said. He's like, girl, I didn't say that. What did you talk about?
What are you talking about? Like, that was not me.
Who was it?
It wasn't me.
Who is talking to me? And I know we're joking about it, but in all seriousness, just to kind of go back to like the mental health aspect of it. Yeah, I was dealing with it so much, to the point like wrestling with them voices, that I was like, either it's you, the enemy, or I'm genuinely losing my mind. Yeah. And I was literally that concerned and that scared with the emotions that was coming up, you know, whether it was from a toxic relationship, whether it was trying to pursue purpose, whether it was trying to be a parent, whatever it was, I just felt like I was hearing something a certain way. And then when stuff wasn't falling right, I'm like, but God, you said, and I mean, I'm angry. Angry, like real deal, going at it with God.
Wow. Yeah, that's good.
Why would you tell me this? Why? You know, all the don't talk to me. You know what? That's it. I don't got nothing to say to you. Don't say nothing to me. Like, and it wasn't like it wasn't a negative way. It was, but it was like, I'm grateful. You keep me alive. Cool. Thank you. I'll wake up. Thanks.
Right.
Like with a chip on my shoulder. Thank you.
Right.
And I ain't got nothing to say. I got home safely. Thank you. My family's still alive. Thank you. Appreciate it. It was almost like that's the least you can do. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And he had to humble little old me, y'all. I'm telling you, he had to sit your girl down. It was like, Miss Ma'am, let's step inside of here and let me tell you about yourself.
Oh, wow.
Big me.
Wow.
So yes, it's been a journey. I know y'all briefly spoke on like grief, and this time of the year is such a real thing. I'm glad to hear y'all say that because it is such a real thing. Not just this time of the year, all throughout the year, but
365.
Yes, but definitely like when the holidays come up, you know, we all go through so much. We all lose people, and not just people, but things, opportunities, you know, whatever it may be. And grief is such a real thing, and people don't really understand. I'm glad to see now that mental health is becoming a real thing. Yeah. I didn't know how much of a real thing it was until I endured it. But it took me going through depression and going through anxiety, and then really realizing like that's a real thing, because you know we have that stigma in the Black community, and humbling myself 2 years ago and actually saying, okay, I need help beyond therapy, because I was doing therapy twice a week, and I'm praying, paying tithes, watching sermons, going to church, and I still need help. Still. And it took one day I was listening to Sarah Jakes, and I know she was prophesying straight to me, and she was like, maybe you do need medication, and that's okay. And when she said it, mind you, I was already wrestling with this. Like, God, I believe you could just heal me, just touch me, just speak the word, God, and I'm done. And he was just like, you got to understand, I put resources and tools here on earth for a reason.
Right.
And I was so scared of like long term, like, does this mean like I'm psychotic? Does this mean like I'm going to be on medication forever or what? And by the grace of God, it has been now 8 months since I've been off of medication.
Look at God.
Yes. Yes. But boy, I was like terrified. My family were really the only people closest to me, and I appreciate them so much because they were there for me. They covered me, and I mean genuinely covered me. Covered me in prayer, covered me in love, would just go out of their way to try to do stuff. It was my birthday. They trying to do a little bit of something extra, come together. Let's go out for a drink. Let's go do this. Let's go, whatever it was, like literally covered me. My kids, I remember sitting my kids down because I was so scared of what could happen. And I heard so many negative things about medication. I was so scared. So I sat my kids down and told them like, hey, mommy's been going through the motions, because I started lashing out to the point of like screaming, speaking to them harshly, and then it would hurt me and break me down, because it's like, what is wrong with you? And it wasn't stuff that they did, it was just the pain, the trauma, the unresolved within me, the not having the answers and stuff like that was driving me crazy in the midst of the trauma of not being with their dad and that 13-year relationship and all these things and everything that came with it afterwards. And I was just like, God, please. And so I had to sit them down and tell them like, hey, I apologize, and we got to be humble enough, parents,
to apologize. To know when you're wrong.
Please own that. Apologize to your kids. That doesn't discredit you as a parent. If anything, boosts you even more. I would apologize to my kids, and I still do whenever, if it comes to me, if God convicts me like, hey, that was a little too hard. All right, I'm
Absolutely.
humble myself, and I pray about it, and then I'll go apologize and have a conversation with them. But I had to sit them down and tell them like, hey, I'm going through this, but and yeah, it's bad. I know y'all see this, and I'm sorry that it's gotten that bad. If I had it my way, it wouldn't be that way. But it's to the point now I don't even know what to do. But what I am trying to do is y'all gonna now hear me and see me doing therapy. This is what I'm trying to do. My therapist is suggesting medication. So I need y'all to pay attention, because if I start taking this medication and you feel like I'm changing and getting worse, I need you to let grandma know, let grandpa know. Like, I need y'all to know, because, you could be in the midst of it and you don't even know what's going on. We're talking about medication for your mind.
Yeah.
Man-made stuff. And I'm just like, oh, God, I hope they was anointed. Whoever made this, because please.
Give you some anointed peace.
Yeah.
Please.
But I had to have those conversations, and I'm so grateful. God truly, truly blessed me with my kids, because they have been so patient, so understanding. I mean, overly loving. They'll come and talk to me. I could be in my room laying down. I don't even have to say anything. They'll just come. They'll lay down next to me. They put their arms over me. There's times that I've caught my daughter praying over me. And same thing with my son, saying certain things, or they'll say, oh, mommy, I heard you in the room crying yesterday, so I was praying for you while you was crying.
Wow.
And those things, it changed so much, because I used to feel like I'm falling apart, I'm breaking apart, and my kids are seeing this. But it's like, I need them to also understand I'm human.
That's right.
I don't have this thing figured out, and especially parenthood. None of us do. I'm learning as I go. Y'all will see it later when y'all have kids, but I'm learning as I go. But at the same time, as much as y'all think I'm such a great mom, I'm also human. And there's a lot of things that I am getting wrong, and I'm humble enough to try to just be like, God, hey, show me how to fix this. Show me how to get back this time that I missed out on my kids, because I went through this dark cloud, But God is so merciful. Literally, like He knows exactly who to place in your life. The friends that I have right now, like I had friends, and we all have the friends that we don't be in communication with anymore. But when I tell you, they were the best people at those stages and spaces of my life.
Yeah, that's good.
Even though I'm not in communication with them anymore, I'm so grateful, and I constantly say that in prayer. God, I thank you for such and such, such and such, such and such, because when I was in this space, they was there. They helped me. They covered me. Whether it was authentic or not, I don't know, but I appreciate it. And then the people that I have now, they will come. I have a friend, she will come and knock on my door, and literally, like, I don't care. I'm going to bang on this door, open the door. They know I go missing. Hey, you either come out or I'm coming in. And if I come in through your window, something, what you want to do? And I'm like, all right, like, hey, I'm coming. But you need those people, in your season of grief, of whatever it is. There has to be somebody that you can literally be your complete messy self with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because every person, as much as we deserve to be strong and have it together, you deserve to fall apart. And it's more beautiful than you allowing yourself to fall apart. Like, you have to fall apart. So I had to find peace with the falling apart, because that's where I really started to discover a lot of my strength.
Yes. In your brokenness.
Yes, in my brokenness.
Yes.
In that pain.
Your pain produce your purpose.
Yes, I always say that, pain to purpose.
Yes, it does.
Listen, that's good, Shalyn. Like, you have dropped some gems on us. Mm-hmm. You were over here telling us, you was giving me some encouragement, sis. Like, you was giving me the encouragement. You encouraging the encourager.
I know that's we all need encourager. Like they say, who is a strong friend turn to? So hey.
Yes. We're just gonna check our comments really quick. We got Ashley Pitt. She's giving us so much love in the chat. She said, come on now. Oh, yeah. Brooklyn Ryder, she said, hello, beautiful ladies. We have one on YouTube. I love Black people. Okay, we love you too.
That's right.
Miss Fuller says, blessings, ladies. Good evening. She's gonna always show out for us. We greatly appreciate it. Shalyn, tell the people how they can order your book.
So just so y'all get an idea, this is
breathe is not personal, it's purpose.
Breathe. It's not personal, it's purpose. You can find it on Amazon, and I like to do it more so through me. When I say through me, you can always DM me, inbox me, write me a post, however you want to reach out to me. I like to be more personal with my books because I do like to put little messages in it. Most times that even if it's a complete stranger, gotta place something in me to say to certain people. Yeah. So I do like to personalize them. You can feel free to get it from Amazon. There's no problem. The blessing is just the same in it for you. But those are the two avenues right now. You can always reach out to me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, I'm on
Tell them your names, tell them your handles. What's your handles?
So I try to keep it very simple. I go by my first, either you'll find it first and middle name. So that's Shalyn Genobia, and that's spelled SHALYN. And then Genobia is GEN as in Nancy, OBIA. Last name is White as in the color. So you can search Shalyn White. It's so funny. I always say this. You can Google me, baby. Put my name in Google. Put in
y'all, she Hollywood. I love
it. But you can literally put my name in on Google, and it will pull up everything. It'll pull up my link tree. It'll pull up my everything. That's so awesome. You can always find it that way. Hit me up, y'all. I'm here. I'm ready to do what y'all need.
Listen, y'all, follow Shalyn. Please follow her. She is amazing, even though she's not posting right now. But I pray that God helps her in terms of knowing when to return back to the people. To come out of her comfort zone a little bit.
Yes, I'm always watching. I'm always in the shadows. I'm here lurking. I trust me. I have some things, great things that I'm looking forward to for 2025. One of them, I will drop that and just say it is a part 2 finally. So that is one thing, but there's other things that I'm more excited than that. But I'm so appreciative to God for everything that He is entrusting me with and allowing me to walk into. So please, follow me, y'all. I'm looking forward to hearing from y'all.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Listen, we are so grateful for you. Like, I'm so thankful. You said yes, because I was like, Shalyn ain't gonna say yes. Come on now.
And my new favorite word is no,
that's a big move, man. Come on now.
And my new favorite word for all this year has been no. I fell in love with no. It flows from my tongue, and I like the way it sounds with my voice. No. So for you to get yes out of me, girl, thank you for your obedience.
Man, listen.
And just asking me, pulling me out, because again, there's other things that I've said no to, and I'm just feeling like, whatever. Yeah. But with you, I was like, all right.
I love it. So thankful for you. We want to thank all of our supporters, our followers, our tech team. We are so thankful for everyone that has helped us to continue to grow and building this platform. We also want to say happy holidays, because we won't see you guys next week. Happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa,
Merry Christmas,
Happy New Year. Feliz Navidad.
Yes, happy Hanukkah, all the things. Come on.
Yes, and we will see you guys, January the 7th. We will see you guys then. We love our followers, guys. We will talk to you guys soon. Enjoy your evening.
Have a good Christmas.
Yeah.